Hello, I'm Kevin856, and I'll be your belated commentator for the day. Sorry about that, we were getting some issues behind the scenes, getting things set up, but I'll be able to manage commentary for this match between Paradoxical Remedy and Bryguy. Now, I missed the first few minutes of it, first 9 or so if the chat would like to fill me in, just tell me anything that happened, that'd be appreciated. Meanwhile, I'll take a look at the card. It would appear that both of our runners has found Azumarill or Quagsire, and looks like Paradox found Sunflower or Executor. Kinesis, Dig, Dodrio. That was the starter, I'm assuming. That's pretty useful. So, looking at the card right away, Berry Juice or Elixir being at the smack center of the card, that's something you never want to see. Of course, Berry Juice or Elixir being one of the worst goals. So, in case you don't know, you either get a Berry Juice or Elixir from either finding it on the ground, or you need a Shuckle or a Magikarp. So you would need to find a specific, a large enough Magikarp, and show it to a fisherman near the Lake of Rage, I believe. Or you need to give Shuckle a berry, and at the end of a battle, Shuckle will have a small chance of turning that berry into berry juice. So it's very possible that with the berry juice or elixir being at the center of the card, that neither runner will get that. Other than that, we do have TM13, so they will need to collect 7 normal berries. So Poison Cure berries, Paralyze, Mint, none of those berries will count, only regular berries. So the best way to do that would be to collect a few, like 5 or so, and then have the clock roll over, which I'm assuming they set the time to Thursday night. Thursday at 11 would seem to be good, because Everstone or Goldaberry, so they would get the bug catching contest on Thursday night, or they could, yeah, and also get the berries. Then when the day rolls over, it'll be Friday. Then they'll be able to get the Poison Barb on Route 32, and get the other 2 berries, get 2 more berries. But yeah, if they will need a few more than 7 berries with the berry juice if they want to stick a berry on Shuckle. So row 5 seems pretty okay, aside from Yanma Pillow-Swine, because Burn, Poison, or Paralyze Sudowoodo is generally not very difficult. And Rival 4 is pretty free also. Row 1 is very free if our runners are comfortable with getting TM13 Snore. They shouldn't have any trouble with row 1, as all the ones are pretty free. King's Rockbean and Slowpoke Well. Suicune, you just need to fight Ensween, Ucine in Cyanwood, and I doubt either runner would go for Fly Skip. Fly Skip is generally never the good thing to go for. But enough about the card, let's talk about what our runners are doing. We have Bryguy about to enter Violet City, and we'll see if he's comfortable with his Pokemon, comfortable with the levels to start doing Falconer, or if we're going to grind a little in Sprout Tower. Looks like Bryguy's going for it. Not a bad idea. Even if your poke is like level 8, level 7, even level 6, it's a good idea to at least see what it is, because you never know if it's going to be something trash. Meanwhile, it looks like Paradox actually already defeated the level 9 in Falconer's Gym. It was the Flareon. Flareon isn't the best poke. And yeah, looking at that Dodrio has a huge attack. So with I believe it was Horn Attack, Dig, that's a good Dodrio. That'll definitely work. Or perhaps they're maining the Executor on Paradox's side, because that's higher level than the Dodrio. Executor. Oh, Executor with Ice Beam. That's good. Female Dodrio. Yeah, that's... A female Dodrio isn't the best, because generally speaking, female Pokemon have less attack DVs than male counterparts. I mean, Executor isn't a bad move, because you will be able to have 4 slots, because they can't exactly remove Kinesis from the Dodrio, because if they do, they'll lose a Pokemon with a non-HM accuracy reducing move, so they kind of have to just keep it there and hope. Well, Paradox took out Falconer without much trouble. We'll see if the TM is useful. Heal Bell. That's definitely not useful. I mean, it has some uses in competitive, but this is a speedrun. Bryguy's not going to be very far behind. It just has to do a few more trainers, and with Dig making good work of these fire and electric types, he's not going to have much of an issue. Oh, Executor was from Headbutt. Wow, then that's pretty good. That's definitely a lot, yeah, because there's a high probability that Bryguy won't find that Executor. Now, that's not to say that he won't find an Executor, and the Sunflower, or Executor being our stone evolution of the card, Sunstone or Leafstone respectively on Sunkern or Execute, that's 4 poke that he could find, so the odds are in his favor. So, Paradox coming across Route 32. Now, there is a bit of a difference of strategies. Some runners prefer to do all 8 trainers on Route 32 now for the experience and the information. Some runners prefer to do it later when you have a stronger poke, so you'll be able to one-shot all the trainers and have less of an issue. But it looks like from Paradox's movement, he looks like he'll be going for all the 8 trainers now. Meanwhile, however, that Squirtle that he did find is going to be very useful, because with Ivysaur, Charmeleon, or Wartortle on the card, he'll be able to evolve that Squirtle into a Wartortle, I believe at level 16. So just slap an EXP share on that thing about an hour from now, and he'll be good. Bryguy doing some shopping before. Looks like he's having a bit more trouble with Falconer than Paradox did. The Dodrio isn't quite doing it for him. Shopping is, of course, very important in any Pokemon rando. Getting some repels, potions, Pokeballs, full heals, you name it. So I don't know if our runners have seen information on any of these other goals. However, they are off to a good start. I mean, all these goals that are like move-based, HM, non-HM accuracy reducing move, sleep inducing move, 4 moves not sharing, or 4 non-damaging non-TM moves, those are usually the hardest to get. And with them having their starter have one of those moves right away, it definitely helps. Column 5 is looking okay. Although 20 different TMs, that's a lot of TMs. So we'll see how our runners cope with that. Well, we find a fortress. That's just a wild poke, and definitely not helpful. It's always nice when Max Phone Book is on the card, and you also have to defeat all 8 trainers on Route 32, because 2 of the trainers on Route 32 actually give phone numbers. We're not going to be seeing that today yet. Today, however, I don't believe they found a Venonat or a Paris. Or if they did, it was before I came on as commentator. Well, it might have been a Fire Punch Magby, but it was also a Magby. So, Baby Poke's not usually threatening. Unless you had a really strong Baby Rage. What kind of rando indeed, I suppose. Bryguy also going with the strategy of defeating all the 8 trainers on Route 32 now. This isn't necessarily a bad play, because you do get levels and information, however, it's not the play that I would make. Because with Poison Barb on the card, you're going to need to backtrack down this route anyway, assuming that they both set their date to Thursday. Which I imagine they would. I mean, another strat is possible that they could have set their date to Friday night and have it roll over to Saturday for the bug catching contest. So they might have chosen to do that, I suppose. Paradox finding the Squirtle again. But he's already caught that. As Bryguy's main appears to be poison. And poison never good, especially if you don't have a Poison Cure Berry. They did run into a Poison Cure Berry. However, the question of whether or not Bryguy picked it up, who knows? So yeah, he's definitely going to be healing at this Poke Center. And some people often don't go with this Poke Center, but I don't. I don't see the point, because if it takes about 5 seconds to enter this Poke Center, and if you die, if you wipe to say a random trainer, a Pokemaniac, an optional that you accidentally hit, and they kill you, then you're kind of doomed. Although we do see Bryguy going for fishing strategies. Apparently he's just not satisfied. Although that is a Yanma. And that is a dead Yanma. So Paradox and presumably Bryguy will have that Yanma information. So they'll be able to figure out where it is on the card, or rather, in Johto, if they look at their Pokedex. And with that, Paradox has defeated all 8 trainers on Route 32. So Bryguy is going to know exactly where Paradox is. Now it appears that Bryguy left a trainer or 2 alone. So he's not going to have that goal quite yet. Paradox also appears to have, no. He just found a random poison barb. So that's convenient. Yeah, I mean, chat's pointing out that Bragai left the second and third to last trainers because of being poisoned. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And with both our runners picking up that poison barb exactly at that same time, they know that they are neck and neck. The only difference is that Paradox has 2 extra goals, so that Sunflower or Executor in this case, it's definitely going to be a puzzling Bragai for a little bit. Now Paradox is teaching Razor Leaf to the Executor. Now that is a stab move, and it is a pretty good move, but with 20 TMs on the card, makes you wonder if that was really the best goal. Meanwhile, that Golbat used self-destruct. Well, that's Golbat information. And only Golbat information. So if he does find a wild Golbat, he's going to need to watch out, because it could go boom. I mean, yes, that is true. Solar Beam is a 2-turn move. However, 20 TMs is also very valuable, so it depends on whether or not our runners feel like going for it. I mean, there are plenty of TMs. You get 5 TMs from trainers. They're going to be at getting the return TM. There's one in Slowpoke Well, Burn Tower, on Union Cave. There's several TMs you can buy in Goldenrod. There are a lot of TMs for them to use one, but still, it's something to point out. Yeah, they can afford to spend Sweet Scent and the 3 others, assuming that they don't forget about some of the TMs. Because it's very possible that one of the runners might just forget about a TM here or there, and that would reduce the amount of TMs that they can get. Well, either way, Razor Leaf is going to make quick work of that Poliwrath. And the Poliwag. Apparently that was a very Poly Trainer. And that's Moonlight. I mean, it is nighttime, so it will heal quite a bit, but it's also Moonlight. Doesn't look like Bragai found anything from fishing, as he's sticking with the Dodrio, which, not necessarily a bad play this late into the game. The Dodrio's already level 15. He might just be hoping that the Pseudo-Widow that he has to status will in fact have something useful. I believe Moonlight makes it heal more if it's night. Morning Sun makes it heal more if it's the morning. And Synthesis, I believe, is the other one which heals during the day. That's a lot of TMs, Pika. That is a lot of TMs. I suppose if you put it that way, then yeah, our runners wouldn't really be hurting for TMs. I believe some TMs do get added to Goldenrod. I'm not entirely sure what the parameters around it are. Although Paradox, he's going for right twin and right side of Bugsy's gym. I like this play. It's definitely different and it mixes up the meta. You get different information. I'm personally an all right twin kind of runner. It's mixing up the meta, you get different information, you never know what you'll run across. It might be something on the card. Plus a bit more EXP, although with level 20, he's not really hurting for levels. Yeah, and Charmeleon info. Of course, our runners, or at least Paradox, did pick up the Squirtle, but Charmeleon info's always good to have. Apparently one of the trainers on Route 32 had Charmeleon, so I missed that, but if that was the case, then Bryguy would also have Charmeleon information. And speaking of Bryguy, I believe he went left twin. He's fighting an Oridos. With Swagger, it would appear. Swagger, not something you ever want to see. But meanwhile, Paradox taking down Bugsy, getting down TM49, which I didn't actually see what it was, but it doesn't look like Paradox is in any hurry to teach it. We'll see what Rival 2 has. Our both runners did in fact take the same starter, so Rival 2 will be the same for both of them. With a Lantern, going down easily to Razor Leaf. Nidorina, Ice Beam. I mean, it's not super effective yet, as Nidorina is not a ground type, still pure poison. Ice Beam is still a strong move. And Miltank, with Thunder Punch. Yeah, that's a Miltank. Nothing really more to say on that matter. So, as our runners enter Ilex Forest, I'm trying to figure out what might our runners be thinking. So, Paradox does have the lead, and apparently there's just a random Everstone Goldberry on the ground. So, now Bryguy might be thinking... I mean, 33 minutes is extremely fast to get to the bug-catching contest, so he has to realize that he found it hidden on the ground. Apparently we're just finding all the hidden items on the ground. I mean, Goldberry, we found the Poison Barb, we found a Charcoal even. Unfortunately, we're not finding the one item that truly matters, Berry Juice or Elixir. If our runners could find that, then this card would open up dramatically. So with this information, I'd say row 1, column 5, assuming they can get Venonat or Paris. Column 4 is actually pretty free. And I'd say row 5. And it's hard to say what they'll do next. We don't have enough information, but if we did get berry juice or elixir, that would open up the diagonal, that would open up row 3, and that would open up column 3. So that center card is going to be really vital. Meanwhile, Paradox picking up his Headbutt TM. With 20 TMs on the card, having TMs is always good. Meanwhile, we've got a Nidorina with Protect and a sleeping Dodrio. Nope, the Dodrio woke up. And chat is apparently saying that TM49 was Mirror Move. Mirror Move, not exactly a winning move. So Bryguy, he's going to be entering Ilex Forest. We'll see if he also picks up this gold berry. Imagine he will. Then again, I imagined incorrectly, it would seem. Bryguy not actually making any strides for this item, which I find really puzzling, especially with berry juice or elixir on the card. You want to get every item you can. But I mean, if Bryguy doesn't get that item, then that does give Paradox a bit of an advantage. Bryguy might be thinking that Paradox already did the bug catching contest, which, I mean, possible? It is possible, but not exactly likely by any stretch of the means. So, I mean, he can come back for it, but I think it's a lot more likely that Bryguy will attempt to win it in the bug catching contest. Which, speaking of, even if Paradox does have the Everstone or Goldberry, he'll definitely, I think the plays definitely do the bug catching contest. Because of course you've got 10 encounter slots at 10% each, and none of them are on the card. You could find Mewtwo, Mew, or Celebi. You could find something else. You could find Ho-Oh Lugia. You could find something else on the card, like Venonat Paris. You might even find a Berry Juice or Elixir as one of the items. Meanwhile, let's take a look at what Kenya is. Kenya is a Zubat. Not exactly the gold bat that we're hoping for, but oh well. Yeah, Paradox is picking up all these other items, so even the hidden items, so I think that there's a possibility that Bryguy might not know that there's an item in that spot. And if that's the case, that could definitely cost him. Since, yeah, as the chat is pointing out, Paradox can lose the bug catching contest now, get an extra berry, and that extra berry could prove invaluable. Well, there's a Lapras. I don't believe Defeat Lapras is on the card, however. But, well, it's something. And there's a Mareep. Flaffy, also not on the card. And that's a Mankey. Apparently we've got everything in the bug catching contest that isn't on the card. Which is unfortunate. And Bryguy also saving for the bug catching contest. Definitely want to do the bug catching contest not knowing what you'll find, and without that Everstone or Goldberry. And that's a Burn Heal. Still not a berry juice or elixir. And that's a Phanpy, but Phanpy or Teddiursa also not on the card. And Paradox is going to quit out, and yeah, he lost and he got the Consolation Berry, which is probably the best thing he could have gotten, because that extra berry for the TM13 goal definitely helps. Bragai not finding anything interesting in the bug catching contest either. He's found Phanpy, he's found Caterpie, and not much else. Tentacool. In fact, he might have trouble finding something that could get second or third. I mean, he doesn't have to win it. He just needs second or third, so that's not exactly bad. And meanwhile, if we didn't have Golbat information, Paradox has even more Golbat information. And actually, I believe it was Bragai who had the Golbat information, so Paradox getting this Golbat is useful. And more importantly, Mew! Mew information. I believe this was an optional trainer. Oh no, it wasn't. It was one of the trainers in National Park. As defeat all 4 trainers in National Park is on the card. So, but still, that Mew information could be very valuable, as that would allow them to go for row 2. Bragai getting the Everstone, which means he got second place. Meanwhile, Bragai is going for this optional trainer. Now, personally, if you ask me, this optional trainer is a bit of a mistake. I mean, it does allow you to go back and forth a bit quickly, however, and he does only have 1 Pokemon, however, it's still a move. It's still a Pokemon that you have to fight, go through the whole rigmarole. I mean, you do get information, but only on 1 poke. So, I mean, I suppose you do have to go for this TM. Yeah, TM34. So I suppose that's not exactly too terrible. And Bragai getting into the optional with 4. That's unfortunate for Bragai. He's going to have to fight a level 10, or level 2, a level 6, level 10, and a level 14, I believe. Well, Paradox is actually looks like he's heading for well, 2 hidden items, and also possibly the coin case. I always love a coin case play. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Anytime you check the coin case and the Pokemon are extremely valuable, and your opponent doesn't, your opponent might be wondering, where did he find the Lugia? Where did he find the Paris? And he might never think that, oh, he just bought them. But Paradox also fighting this trainer, not a bad idea. You need to fight it for Rival 4 later. And it's a bit of XP, but still, level 24 versus level, 7? Not exactly information that's useful. Although, again, I suppose you might as well fight it now. If you're one-shotting everything now, you're going to be one-shotting everything later. Bragai, I believe, first to tackle Whitney. He's not going for a coin case or the Goldenrod Underground right now. Also, Haircut being on the card, that's another reason to do the Underground. That's like 4 reasons. And Berry Juice Elixir! Berry Juice Elixir is the second hidden item in the Goldenrod Underground. That is absolutely huge. That is beyond huge. That means that opens everything up, and that unfortunately also means that Bry Guy, if he knows where his hidden items are, knows exactly where that Berry Juice Elixir is. A better idea would have been to get the hidden items and then go for the Haircut. That way, if it was the Berry Juice or Elixir, you could come back for the Haircut later and hope that Bry Guy has no idea where you found it. But still, finding the Berry Juice or Elixir in general is huge because that center goal is so useful. With the Mew information in National Park, that means that Paradox is 1 goal away from a first bingo. He's got column 5. He's got row 3. Well, he actually doesn't have in and out of Paris info. But he's got row 1, column 3, row 2, row 5, the diagonal. Paradox already has a possible path. And nothing interesting in the, unfortunately nothing interesting in the coin case poke in the casino. But still, that trip was definitely worth it. Berry Juice, Haircut, preparing for Rival 4. So much value came out of that. And Bry Guy is not... Bry Guy isn't going for it. I'm very curious to know what Bry Guy's strategy is. Yeah, Burn, Poison, or Paralyze Pseudo-Widow is on the card, and I don't think that either runner has a move that can do so. So I'm very curious to see what our runners are going to be doing. Meanwhile, that's an Ivysaur. That is on the card. So, Bry Guy definitely going to try and catch that. Appears to be giving him a little bit of trouble. And it knows D-Punch. A bit low on Pokeballs, that's rather unfortunate. But Bry Guy does manage to pick up that Ivysaur. So that is going to be a goal that he has that Paradox doesn't. Paradox has Charmeleon info, and also has the Squirtle, which he is probably going to evolve, but having that Ivysaur will save him a little bit of time, unless Paradox happens to run into himself. Well, we'll see what the Sudowoodo is. I'm gonna guess, well, it's Ninetales, and Bry Guy did actually have a move to Burn, Poison, or Paralyze it. On this Magmar, actually, Spark. Spark will Paralyze, and he does. So now Paradox is going to see that Bry Guy's a little bit ahead of him. We'll see if he decides to catch it, or if he decides to, not. I mean, it does have Sandstorm, which is a Rock-type move, but Rock-type move isn't on the card. And it looks like Bry Guy is just going to be killing it. And Paradox ran into the Ivysaur, so that's unfortunate for Bry Guy that he didn't get to keep that goal for himself. But such is Pokemon. And Bry Guy also not going for the hidden item there. He might not know about it, or he might just be giving up on looking for items and he's going to come back for the Berry Juice or Elixir later. The optimal play would be to get Berry Juice, Elixir, Haircut at the same time you're doing Rival 4, so that might be what his plan is. He might have discerned, hey, Berry Juice is in the Goldenrod Underground with Haircut, I'll just get it then. So that's pretty likely. Meanwhile, Paradox is about to attempt his Sudowoodo. We'll see if he is as good luck as Bry Guy. He's still looking for moves. He might... No, the Squirtle does have something, it would seem. The question is he going to be lucky enough in order to succeed? He's going to try and get that Body Slam Paralysis. He could be here a while. It's 10%, I believe. And if with Sandstorm and anything else that this Ninetales throws at him, the Ninetales knows Kinesis. Oh, that's unfortunate. If Bry Guy had caught this Ninetales, he could have taught something over the Kinesis on his Dodrio. Oh, Body Slam is 30% according to the chat. My mistake. So it's quite a high chance. Paradox is just getting rather unlucky. And yeah, T-Bolt Ninetales. With Sandstorm and, I believe you've seen one other move, Fury Swipes. Or Fury Attack. Unfortunately, one good move a main does not make. So if Paradox wants to paralyze, he's going to need to get... Yeah, and if he wants to switch, he's going to need to find something with a bit more than just T-Bolt. But I don't imagine he'll switch his Execute, especially with its moveset, but Bry Guy might have considered it. And yeah, Paradox is getting really unlucky. He needs to not die, so he needs to either get 2 hits by the Fury Swipes, or get Sandstormed, and then he needs that Body Slam Paralysis to trigger. Well, card spoiling it for us that Paradox is going to be successful. And, yep, there's the Paralyze. So with that out of the way, he can just run away as much as he likes. Or, no, he's going to try and catch the Ninetales. Interesting choice. He already has Kinesis. He's naming it. Herc. Oh, the burns. Except not really, because you can't burn a fire type. Love you, Herc, but apparently Paradox doesn't. Well, Bry Guy moving his way on to Rival 4, so we'll see if anything interesting happens. Yeah, he's just gunning for it. Still not going for the hidden item. We do have a Spearow. Nothing useful. Rival 3. Did I say Rival 4? My mistake. Well, synchronized battles on our runner's parts. And Bry Guy facing off against an Exeggutor. If that Exeggutor still knows Ice Beam, he could be in for a bit of an issue. And it does! Oh, this will hurt! That will kill! That's a bad situation that Bry Guy has found himself in. He's going to need to one-shot this or buy revives. I don't see any other way he's going to get around this. Pity he didn't catch the Ninetales. The Ninetales would have been useful. And Ice Beam is 100% accuracy. The Tentacruel actually would be able to survive. Ice or water does resist ice, so he would be able to survive a little bit. Frustration is definitely not the move to use. He's going for Kinesis strats. That might be his only hope, but... Bryguy did not catch the Ninetales. Bryguy killed the Ninetales, so Bryguy does not have that at his disposal. However, the Tentacruel is level 17, and it resists Ice Beam. So I think that's definitely the play he needs to make. Bryguy is just hoping that Kinesis works, but Kinesis has a really low accuracy. And the chance of getting lucky like that, it's not going to happen. So Bryguy really needs to switch it up. Because right now he's just doing the same thing over and over again and dying. Oh, he's actually sending out the Tentacruel this time. And he's looking to see if he has a revive. He does have 4 revives. Wonder why he didn't use them earlier. And that's Solar Beam, so that will kill the Tentacruel, but that does give him a free move. So trying to attack when you were very much so slower, not the best idea. Healing the Dodrio would probably have been better. And with all the trouble that Bryguy has, Paradox is caught up, and he's going to be able to one-shot the Exeggutor with Ice Beam. And Dodrio not learning Swift, and instead there's a Ponyta. Well, with Dig, that'll one-shot. And that's a Miltank. Miltank pretty bulky, but Rage not exactly a strong move. And Paradox has just shredded the rival with the Exeggutor. Well, as always, none of them are Jinx, and that's about all I know. Miltank is the starter the runners gave to the rival. Okay. So, Miltank is, was one of the starters along with Dodrio. But yeah, if anyone in the chat wants to say what they are, then feel free to say. We have Swinub, and Evolution, and Golbat in the chat. Well, chat does appear to agree on that point, so we'll see. We'll see if any of our runners run into the Golbat Roamer, or if the Golbat is the Suicune. I mean, the Golbat would be useful, but Golbat on Route 42 for 2 goals? Unfortunately, that won't actually help. Golbat may be the Suicune, but you need to encounter an actual Suicune. Either the story-based Suicune from fighting Yucine, or or just find a random Suicune on Route 42. I believe has been determined that that will also count. Yeah, Surf on the Exeggutor just made Paradox's main even better. Surf, Ice Beam, Razor Leaf, these are really good types to have. Yeah, the encounter Suicune on Route 42, the story Suicune, isn't a fight, but I believe it has been asked about, and if you do find a wild Suicune, that will also count. So if you're surfing or in the grass and you just find a random Suicune, then yeah, that will count. Meanwhile, Oddish. How odd. Ish. Puns worse than TGEs aside, Paradox is quickly gaining ground on Guy. He's going to be up versus Morty pretty soon. And that is a Dragonite. 4 times weak to ice. So, Paradox is going to have a considerably easier time. Yes, that is correct. After you catch the shiny and talk to Lance, you'll get several items. You get the Clear Bell, which allows you to enter Tin Tower to fight the Suicune encounter. You get the HM for Whirlpool. I believe you also get the Basement Key and the key card for the Rocket Hideout. So you get all the storyline progression items from Lance. And with that, we've got Morty defeated. So, TM30 obtained, and is it useful? We don't know, because this isn't actually one of the TMs that tells you what it is. And that is Zapbird. How are you doing, Zapdos? And that is an optional trainer. Unfortunately, a bit of unoptimal movement on this route. But Paradox to fight this trainer with a Chikorita. Nothing useful on the card. And it looks like we might actually be getting a second commentator in. Still working out some of the details, but we might be getting a co-commentator for us, so that'll be useful. Meanwhile, Guy is fighting a coughing on a trainer, so that's coughing information. To go with the Golbat information. Guy fought that optional trainer in order to obtain this berry, which, with the berries on the card, you need 7 berries to get Snore.
Hey guys, it's me, Garfield the Lightning, and I have no idea what's going on this race, but yeah, it's looking pretty close though at this point.
Hey Garf, I'm glad you could join us. I'll be glad to fill you in on the details. If you look at the card, center being Berry Juice or Elixir, Paradox actually found one. It was one of the hidden items in the Goldenrod Underground.
Oh, I see.
Now, if Guy was paying attention, Paradox marked give a Pokemon a haircut, and then about 5 seconds later, Berry Juice or Elixir. So if Guy was paying attention, he'll know exactly where to go for that.
Okay.
Guy hasn't actually been in the Goldenrod Underground yet. And speaking of Goldenrod Underground, we did see the coin case Pokemon, and they were all not useful. We do have information on almost everything on the card. We have Yanma information for both runners. We have Golbat information for both runners, and Bradguy also has Coughing information.
Okay, but no dex checks yet, I take it.
No dex checks. I don't believe we've seen Venonat, Paris, Ho-Oh, or Lugia, or Heracross, Pinsir, or Aipom. Actually, I believe we have seen an Aipom. I don't recall where or by whom, though. And we also have Mew information. It was on it was on one of the trainers in National Park. So Paradox has that, and Bradguy does not yet have the Mew information.
Okay. So yeah, I guess it looks like they're kind of in a similar place progress-wise, but I can see, I can see on the card that Paradox has beaten 8 trainers on 32, beat 4 trainers in national parks, and so yeah, I guess he'd have the lead right now.
Yeah, Paradox definitely gaining an advantage because one of the main parts is with his thing he's maining. He's running the Exeggutor, which he found from a headbutt tree, and this thing has a really amazing moveset. Razor Leaf, Ice Beam, and with Surf, it's an amazing moveset. And now he's teaching Wing Attack, a flying type move, over Skull Bash. So that's really good type coverage, and 3 special moves. Meanwhile, the Dodrio, which was one of the starters along with Miltank, and I'm not sure what the third one is, the Dodrio, making use of Strength, but not the best moveset, and he got pretty much destroyed by Rival 3, which led with an Exeggutor with Ice Beam, which one-shot him.
Damn, this must be the first Dodrio I've seen that isn't incredible. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd see the day where an Exeggutor would be better than a Dodrio, but that's the power of a good moveset, I guess.
Oh, definitely. And that's also the power of Headbutt, because we have not seen a Sunflora or an Exeggutor aside. Actually, no, because we just saw one on Rival 2 or Rival 3. So Bradguy actually will have Exeggutor information.
Right.
However,
okay.
if it's anywhere but a Headbutt tree is the question.
Jeez.
So we do have a possible route for a Paradox. Row 5, column 3, row 1, top left, bottom right, and row 2 could be the card for him. Ho or Lugia would give him a diagonal, and there are a few others. Actually, row 4, or column 4 rather, is a bit more optimal, because TM27 is pretty free, and with the ammo for row 5, that would actually be better than row 2, not having to defeat or clear the ruins of Alph puzzles.
I guess we'll have to wait for the dex checks to confirm whether that's actually viable.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just hopefully they're in some decent spots. Well, I say that, I mean, I kind of want to see a bit of trolling, so maybe hoping for a few of them in Whirl Islands or something.
Well, meme islands aside, chat pointing out that apparently Sunflora was actually on the first trainer of the game. I unfortunately was not able to commentate until about 10 minutes in, so I had missed that. But with if Bradguy can remember that Sunflora, then that's 2 possibilities for that goal as opposed to just 1.
Okay, well that's not so bad then.
I think the main thing that will happen that would throw this race severely in Paradox's favor is if Bradguy cannot find the Berry Juice or Elixir.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just a matter of does he know where all the hidden items are in the underground, and I mean, I guess he hasn't. I guess he hasn't gone down there yet because he hasn't marked Give a Pokemon a Haircut. So I guess we don't really know because he's a newer player. He might not yet know where all of these hidden items are, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. He hasn't been to the underground yet, and it was also the harder hidden item to find. There's one that's inside the cubbyhole by the 2 desks. That one's a pretty obvious spot, but it was the one that was just in the middle of the floor, so that one is harder to find.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is like a third one down there, but you don't often go that way. It's like near the door going to Rival 4.
Oh, is there? See,
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, there's one around there, but you have to fight an extra trainer to go that way, so it's not checked very often.
Well, Rival 4 is on the card, and Paradox did actually fight that extra trainer while he was down there.
Oh, okay.
So that is another option for Bry Guy. Another possible place where the berry juice could be.
I'm waiting for this dex check because then I'll actually kind of know what's going on, but he's not checking it yet. Darn it, Paradox.
Well, we are in the cleanup phase for Paradox's side. He's picked up Fly. Bry Guy just behind him, starting the Chuck fight. I don't believe we fought, actually we did fight, Yucine, so we will be able to,
yeah, you fought him.
yeah.
You fought him first.
So we will be able to encounter Suicune on Route 42, which will tell Bry Guy exactly where he is. I mean, Bry Guy delaying the Goldenrod Underground isn't necessarily a bad play, because it is more optimal to combine it with Rival 4. However, if Coin Case Poke were useful, then those are a poke that you can't actually get for a while. And at that late, it might be too late. Meanwhile, that Dodrio knew Surf, but, I mean, it took out the Golem, so whatever works, I suppose. So, we're coming up to the Shiny. What do you think the Shiny's going to be, Garf?
Let me think. What's the Shiny gonna be? It's gonna be a shiny Sunflora, and it'll be really nice for Bry Guy.
I'm kind of hoping for a Venonat or a Paris, let's just say, but I don't actually think it'll be that. I'm gonna go with Shiny Voltorb.
I just want to see something that, you know, helps the underdog out a bit.
Oh, definitely. Anything that helps the person who's behind is always generally a good thing, because we get a more closer race. Bry Guy also encountering Suicune on Route 42. Meanwhile, we're about to see what the Shiny is. Our Shiny for the day is, drumroll please, I'm hyping this up way too much, Shiny Stantler.
Stantler, okay, well...
aka normal Stantler, but slightly green?
It's like, yeah, it's just got a sepia filter, really. It looks like it's a it's a Stantler, but like, you know, in one of those old-timey movies. Maybe like a... yeah.
Or Stantler, but just sick with, like, something.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I wouldn't want to catch what that has.
Well,
maybe it has Pokerus. Ah. Maybe that's Stantler. Maybe that's what Stantler with Pokerus looks like.
Well, Paradox did catch the Stantler, just not what the Stantler has. And apparently Paradox has seen 90 Pokemon, so it looks like we're about to get a
Let's see the Dex
check.
Yes, here we go. And before it lags and I miss everything. Dang it, no, it's lagging. Stop lagging. Okay, let's have a look.
Yep, you got a Dex check. And, okay.
Alright. Golbat.
Paradox first checking the Golbat.
Oh,
Sprout Tower
good.
And grass outside of Union Cave is pretty good. 7
nice.
Encounter slots. Mew, this is a big one. That's doable.
Pretty good, yeah. Mew south of Hekusi, good spot. Yanma.
Ooh, Yanma
nowhere?
not so much.
Or was that nowhere, or was that just like, because it lagged for a bit for me? I'm not sure if that was nowhere.
Yanma was in Mount Mortar and also Ruins of Alph.
Oh, Ruins of Alph.
17 slots in Ruins of Alph.
Okay, well that's not so great, but they're all doable at the very least.
Now another option is the Roamers. Chat was saying that one of the roamers was, I believe, a Swinub. So if they catch the Swinub, leveled up once, give it a rare candy if they have one, it'll evolve into a Pillow Swine.
Well, I guess you could do that if you really wanted to.
Happen to luck into the roamer.
Oh, some floors in Tin Tower. That's no good.
That is really unfortunate, but he does have an executor information.
Whirl Island? Oh
Whoa,
my gosh.
That is very unfortunate.
Wow.
Paradox has no idea how huge that headbutt.
That's pretty massive.
Although now, guys, won't be wondering, where did my opponent get it? Where did Paradox find it? He's got to realize it's a headbutt poke, because there's absolutely no other option.
Well, I mean, he might have just thought that that Paradox ran into a Sunkern or Execute and evolved it.
With what, Sunstone or Leafstone?
You can just buy those, so that's fine.
Yeah, but he got the Executor really early on.
Maybe he found a Leafstone somewhere. I don't know. I'm just you know, just saying. Unless Bry Guy checked like every item, maybe he's like, maybe I missed one. Maybe Paradox checked the treasure room, you know, in Ruins of Elf.
I mean, that is possible.
Yeah.
Dark Cave Rock Smash. Actually, I believe Paradox, one of our runners, did sell a Sunstone at some point, so...
Oh, he got it before Torquedo missed it. Okay, fine. My theory's out the window then.
Yeah, it was a very fast Executor. Because they had it when I hopped in, and I hopped in around just before Violet City. Well, Paradox is going to be grabbing that King's Rock. As Bry Guy getting another TM for the pile. So without that Sunflower or Executor, Bry Guy is going to have a significantly harder time completing this seed. I see him as getting row 1, row 2, column 5, or rather column 3. Honestly, that Executor blocks 3 bingos. I don't really see how he can do this. I guess column 4, and then he needs to luck into a Ho-Oh or Lugia or Venonat or Paris. Or Heracross Pinsir or Apom, which I think we've seen an Apom, but don't quote me on that.
Well, neither of them checked anything like that, so I don't know. Either they forgot about it, or they just really don't want to do the Ruins of Elf puzzles.
Yeah, I mean, Ruins of Elf puzzles takes like 5 minutes if you know what you're doing. And if you don't, it could take significantly longer.
He's checking again, like, I can't believe this, dude. Where the heck did you find this piece of garbage? He's like, almost in disbelief, just like, no, that can't be right.
Well, we do have a Golbat catch on Paradox's side, and that gives us the first bingo. The top left, bottom right diagonal.
Alright.
Bry Guy is very close to several bingos. Snore, Mew, that's 2 more. Ruins of Elf, that's another one. Although Ruins of Elf is again pretty slow. Honestly, I think Paradox could be done in 15 minutes. At most. Just get Snore, catch the Mew, get TM27, catch the Anma, and defeat Rival 4.
Well, there's the Mew.
And there's the Mew. So that gives him 2 bingos. This race will be over very soon. Minutes at the most. It just depends on how trolly the Yanma is. The Yanma was in Ruins of Elf. Ruins of Elf has 17 slots. It's not an ideal place to search. Although speaking of Ruins of Elf, he does have that as the other option. The Ruins of Elf puzzles. Which would also mean he doesn't need to fight Rival 4. So that might be a better play.
So wait, his path would be then...
No. He needs the Anima because that gives him 2 bingos.
Okay.
Well, Bragai's going for TM27. Or 13. 27. TM13 going for that Snore TM. And he gets it! Unfortunately, I don't imagine Paradox will be far behind in that. Yeah, I don't see Bragai having a chance. It's really unfortunate, but he's just missing too many vital goals. Being 12 trainers behind for 2 goals, and having all the Pokemon goals that are just gotten there, that's just too much. And yet Paradox getting his 3rd bingo with Snore, Yanma, and Rival 4, and that's game.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, you know, does he want to do Rival 4 or the 4 Ruins Valve puzzles? But you say that he's already fought like the guy on the way to Rival 4, so...
Yeah.
Assuming that it's not a massive troll, he should be alright on that.
And who knows, Rival 4 might have Piloswine info.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like he's checking. He's looking for Yanma first, though.
Although there is the possibility that, as one of the Raikou or Entei was in fact Swinub, could just go for the Roamer.
Just
does
go
have a
for
rare
the
candy.
Roamer. Just like you make it seem so easy.
Well, he did fight a Swinub. Of course, this is in fact assuming that he knows that the Roamer is a Swinub, which there's a strong possibility that he might not. Personally, I would have no idea. Routing it with the Runes of Alph puzzles is honestly not really helpful because he needs the Anima for 2 goals, and without the Anima, he doesn't actually have a way to win. We don't have Venonat or Paris, we don't have Heracross, Spencer, Apom, we don't have Ho or Lugia, and those 3 Pokemon goals block every other bingo.
Yeah, I think I might be tempted to do Rival 4 first, just like hope it gives me a bit of info. It could give me like Ho or Lugia info, for example. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Or just like any Pokemon info would be great, to be honest. Well, besides Heracross, Pinsir, Apom, that's not helpful, but anything else would be great.
I mean, yeah, Alph Puzzles, again, does give him Row 2, and Yanma would win the game for him. So I suppose that works, but he still needs to, there's a lot in the Runes of Alph.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't matter too much what he does at this point, because he just has so many more goals than Bragai right now.
I mean, yeah, that's also true. Meanwhile, Bragai does get his first bingo, but I fear it's too little too late, and he doesn't pick up the berry juice, it looks like. Or no, he did.
Okay, he just has no space.
So that's why it took him so long. Oh, and Paradox found the Yanma!
There we go. Well, that was... and it whirlwinded him out! Okay.
He knows where it is, though, and it appears to be a high chance. So, it's over.
You can't say that for sure. But, yeah, he knows it's here, at least.
Well, Bragai's fighting Rival 4. We'll see if Rival 4 had any information. Because I am actually curious.
Yeah, it's Venonat.
Venonat.
Look at that. See, there you go. If Venonat was in a good place, then this might have been a bit of a better play. But Paradox has found the Anima at least, so not a
Now,
huge
question
difference, I suppose.
is it 10%? It could be.
He's just finding a lot of Meganium right now. What's the Kenya? What is Bragai leveling up here?
That's a good question.
Pardon me.
I don't recall Kenya being anything useful. Well, Paradox found the Yanma. We'll see if it gives him more trouble with Whirlwind, or if he can get that first bowl.
Oh, it's Zubat. Okay, well that's easy enough then. Evolves at, I think 20, right?
Yeah, Zubat into Golbat.
Whirlwind again!
That
Man.
is really unfortunate.
So I guess he must just have no Master Ball or Level Ball or anything, otherwise he'd surely have used it by now. Well, if this just keeps happening to him, and then Bryguy just like gets the Venom out or something.
I mean, it could happen. I suppose it could be possible that Bryguy could have a chance. How could Bryguy come back from this? Row 3, row 1.
That's the third one. Third one that's whirlwinded him out.
How could Bryguy come back from this? I guess column 3, if he finds, he'll see the Mewtwo. The Mew information, rather. Getting the Venonat info really just gives him row 3, so...
Well,
Paradox...
oh yeah, okay, he'd have to beat all these trainers on here, I guess, to...
Yeah, but row 3 as opposed to row 5.
Which it looks like he's doing, and this is going to take up a lot of time. I mean, unless Paradox just never catches the Yanma, this isn't really going to work out too well for Bryguy.
I mean, the Yanma could be a very big troll.
Well, it's already whirlwinded him out 3 times.
And Paradox could be getting a bit under stress, just getting more and more worried. He might try and bail and find something else, although again, he doesn't really have any other options, and I think he realizes that.
Clearly the play is to beat Claire, and then get the Master Ball from Professor Elm, and use that to catch the Yanma.
Yeah, no, I think the play...
What do you mean, no?
I think if he was that desperate, then this catching the Roamer would be a better plan than that.
I mean, this is Paradox. He could probably find the Roamer easily, to be honest. So yeah, he might. Yeah, I don't know why he's not going for that.
Unfortunately, as much trouble as Paradox is having finding this Yanma and catching it, I don't see Bryguy winning without the Yanma either. Row 1, row 3, column 3, row 2, column 4. Without the Sunflower or Exeggutor,
well, he can do.
He doesn't have the bag.
He's beating the trainers on Route 32. So yeah, he doesn't have the Sunflower Exeggutor. Never mind. Oh, that's
yeah, that Sunflower Exeggutor is just so huge.
God.
Of an option. And it looks like the Yanma is a 10%, so this is a really bad situation. Although, yeah, for all we know, the Yanma could know Boom. If the Yanma goes Boom, that would...
Whirlwind, Self-Destruct, Explosion... Oh, we've seen Psychic apparently, so... Can't have a full Troll moveset. Gotta have at least one attack. Well, I mean, I guess the Explosion's an attack, but, you know...
An attack that actually, allows you to catch it after. Teleport, that's an option too.
Zubat evolved at 22, my bad, so he's... Bryguy's Zubat is 1 level away.
Well, both are runners finding a Yanma. Is Paradox going to catch this Yanma?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but he catches it this time! Finds it again, catches it, it's over. I hate to say it, but it's over.
Well, not he still has to beat Rival 4.
And Venonat's very doable.
Oh, where's that?
It was just south of
again.
Olivine.
Oh, it's in Olivine.
Yeah, and south of Ecruteak.
Okay, Olivine's... There's actually 6 slots in Olivine because the docks also counts.
But yeah, at this point, Paradox just has to defeat Rival 4, and that's game. And sub 135 is an amazing time, it really is.
He does also have to get TM21/27, right?
Oh, you're right, he does, but he's still in Goldenrod, so...
Yeah, it's not going to take him long. Just one more thing he has to do.
It'll take him seconds. Yeah, I'd assumed he already had it, but still. Return, it's essentially over. Oh, does Paradox need to clock reset?
What
You're
for?
right, he does. Because they set the day to Friday.
Oh,
Poison
right,
Bar.
I see. Oh,
I completely forgot that that's a Sunday-only event.
Well, Saturday or Sunday. If it's rolled over to... Oh, no, or is it just Sunday? I can't remember.
It's a Sunday-only event.
Just Sunday, is it? Alright. Oh well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's still not
No.
going to take long.
And if he wants, Ruins of Alph. And speaking of Boom, the Mill Tank knows Boom. That could be an issue. Well, Alph could be slower,
He
but...
has no revives. Oh no!
Oh, that could be an issue. It's not over yet, Braga. It's
Oh
not
my
over.
goodness! Jeez, Paradox doing everything in his power to lose his. No, he's not doing everything. It's just that, yeah. I'm amazed he doesn't have revives though. To be honest, like usually you just buy a few in Boutique too. Unless he's like used them all, then I don't know.
Yeah, you always want to make sure you have revives, full heals, escape ropes, potions. There are just certain key items that you want to have no matter what.
Surprised that Guy didn't teach Fly to Dodrio. Surely it's better than Kinesis.
He needs Kinesis for 9 HM accuracy reducing.
Oh, well, never mind then.
We did see the Ninetales, which was the Suit of Widow.
These goals, dude.
The Ninetales, which was the Suit of Widow, had actually Kinesis, but Guy killed it before it could show that.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
I
Paradox
see.
actually caught it. And Paradox, yeah, made an amazing play. He predicted the boom on the Mill Tank, so he swapped out.
Oh man. Competitive battler Paradox right here.
But again, too little too late. The only thing I could see swinging this race is a random Ho-Oh or Lugia.
Well,
that
he
would
just
give
got
Guy
Pin missile
2
from
lines.
that Croconaw after
Oh! Pin
So-
missile 4 times effective!
But he has
But
that
he's
level
got-
30 stance. Oh, that's body slam. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and he just needs to clock reset or Ruins of Alpha and he's done. I can't see Braga winning this unless he runs into an abrupt Ho-Oh or Lugia. That would give him 2 goals. He has 1 more. And then Mewtwo, Mirror, Celebi, and still he would have to do Ruins of Alpha. No, Venonat. Catch the Venonat. Venonat, Mew, Ho-Oh or Lugia. That's the only way I could see Braga winning. And even then, he probably wouldn't.
Well, he hasn't clock reset yet. Maybe he, like me, thought it was just thought it was Saturday and Sunday.
It is, however, only
Oh no, never
Sunday.
mind. He's not me. Good job, Paradox.
Yep, he is
Congratulations
going
on
to
not
be,
being me.
Clock resetting.
Yep, you just need your name, your ID, and your money. And that will generate a code that you can use to reset the clock.
Meanwhile, Braga caught the Mewtwo. That gives him 2 bingos, but 2 bingos too little too late. He's still looking for that Venonat, but... And, no, he's going to Olivine for the Venonat.
Okay. We'll see if he finds it here or if he has to go to the docks.
How are you supposed to know about the clock reset way back when? You aren't. Because in addition to having the 3 secret pieces of information to make a secret code, you also need to input a specific button code on the title screen to activate the place where you input the secret code. So it's a rather involved process.
Seems like Paradox may not have clock reset in a while because he's like he hasn't input the button combination yet. You have to like do something with. I've got it written down somewhere. It's like something to do with holding some buttons, releasing some, then holding other ones, and it's like a 4-step process.
I try to avoid clock resetting as much as possible.
I mean, it's not too bad once you've got the process written down and all that, but looks like he's just having a bit of trouble with the inputs at the moment. Oh, nice. He's Bry Guy finds the Venonat. There we go. He's got the combination down. Now we just to see if he's got the right code.
But yeah, to clock reset, the instructions are on the title screen, hold down plus select plus B. While holding select, release down plus B. While holding select, hold up plus left. While holding up plus left, release select. And then you also need to input the secret code. But at that, Paradox has finished.
Yep, that'll be it. GG.
That is game.
As soon as he... Yeah, okay. It lagged for me when he hit the done button there. But there it is. Congratulations, Paradox. Looks like he's waiting to be dragged in. I can't actually do that because I'm not an admin.
Hey, Paradox, how you doing? Congrats on winning.
I am not happy about that Yanma.
Yeah, that Yanma was a real troll.
It was terrible.
It was payback for you. Well, I mean, I didn't see this happen, but you like finding the Executor and headbutt trees when yeah, I mean, Bry Guy's gonna get a kick out of this because he was like, you must because like you were looking at your decks like several times for the Sunflower Executor.
Yeah,
like,
did he headbutt it?
Wait, what the heck? Yep, and yep, he totally.
Yeah, it was a headbutt.
Yeah, I figured that after a while. Okay, I had it marked on my card as like an attainable goal the whole time, and I was counting on it. Oh man.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. The Sunflower or Executor probably gave Paradox the race.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely ahead of me from what I could tell. But yeah, I was really close to 20 TMs and just needed that and the Sunflower Executor.
But yeah, it had a decent moveset too.
Yeah, it had an amazing moveset.
Did you end up running it? I just stuck with the for you.
Solar Beam, Ice Beam, Skull Bash, and Vine Whip.
Wow, okay. Nice.
I mean, I kind of missed the whole race, so I don't really have any. I don't really have many questions to ask. Just like could jumped in at the end here, and then I was told he flipping Paradox finds the Executor in a headbutt tree. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. I was like just waiting for Paradox to find the flipping roaming swine hub and evolve that for his Yanma Piloswine goal, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, but that's the nature of Pokemon. These things happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Something I do want to ask is about the Goldberry Everstone, Bry Guy. You didn't pick that up off the ground.
Yeah, where was it? I saw when Paradox marked it.
Ilex Forest.
I must have just missed it. Really? Is there an item that I missed in there?
Yep, just to the right of where you do the Farfetch'd chasing, just walk to the right instead of up, and there's just an item on the ground.
Yes. Yeah, so I generally don't go for that one because that's pretty far out of the way, right? But I should have figured that after Paradox marked it. But I also knew I was coming up on bug catching and was going to do it anyway to check for slots. So I'd try there first and then probably go back and hunt for it if I didn't, if the contest didn't work out.
Yeah, I found nothing in contest.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, contest was a bit of a bust, but this card was amazing in terms of pickup items. We had the poison barb, we had the gold berry, we had the berry juice, which often doesn't even show up, and there's even an unnecessary charcoal.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was getting ready to clock reset for the poison barb, and
There was a slowpoke tail too.
That too, yeah. There was a slowpoke tail.
Oh yeah, I mean it came up after you probably would have bought it to be though, so not sure how useful that would have been. But I guess it was there.
So, what was your thought process on the Yanma? It was trolling you for a good 5 to 10 minutes, or about 5 minutes. Were you thinking of maybe I should try something else, or were you just committed to that Yanma?
I was committed to it because I knew that once I got it, I only had a couple things left to do, and I didn't want to do the all 4 of the puzzles.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
I started doing that because I didn't want to clock reset because I couldn't remember how.
I mean, I was kind of thinking you might want to do Rival 4 first and maybe get Pilot Swine info off of that or something. But I mean, it's kind of marginal, really, and it's pretty unlikely that would actually happen.
Rival 4 was nice for giving me the Bayonet info.
Paradox actually ended up wiping because the Miltank knew Boom.
Oh,
yeah, it boomed me.
Wow, I'm shocked it didn't do that to me.
I debated it the second time.
Yeah, like I wasn't here for a lot of the race, so like, did you not buy revives, or did you already use them all earlier? I
didn't buy any.
All right. Is that
Executor
confident
is
in the
pretty,
power of Executor?
It's pretty bulky. Just it can't take a cow explosion.
Dude, it has like 7 weaknesses though.
And it was taking a bunch of them throughout the race.
It's slow as heck. I don't know. It's like 4 times weak. Whatever. I think I still would have bought revives. Not that confident in Executor's bulk. But well, you managed to but it did mean that we got to see the predicted explosion switch strats. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. So, Bry Guy, about the berry juice elixir. So when Paradox, and I want to ask you, Paradox, what were your thoughts when you found that right after marking haircut?
Well, I figured that just gave it away.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
If I picked it up first, I wouldn't have gotten the haircut right away.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I was thinking, yeah, definitely. If you'd done it in the reverse order, you would have been able to conceal it, and that would have definitely given you an even bigger edge.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have checked the item at that point because I went back and did it later. Like if I had done it early on, I always pick up that item, but I don't know. If I saw Paradox Market at any point, though, maybe I still would have checked. But I think I would have gone back hunting in Ilex to pick up that previous item, or that ended up being the gold berry. Or just looking for other items around there. Maybe back the item in contest that I skipped.
So, speaking theoretically, if you had not found a berry juice or elixir, what would have your guys' plans had been?
Silence. We don't want to think about that one.
I think I have if I had found Sunflower Executor, I would have had full information. Still enough information to get all the bingos. I just add row 5.
We would have had to do Venonat Paris and all 4 ruins puzzles.
Yeah, and pick up a few more TMs each. But yeah.
I suppose you could have. You could have done row 1, row 2, row 5, column 4, column 5. Although again, without the Sunflower Executor, you would have been in a bit worse of a situation, right, guy?
Right. Yeah, I definitely still need more info to complete this card because, Sunflower Executor.
Yeah, we were thinking that the only thing that could turn it around would be a random Ho-Oh or Lugia.
Yep. That's how I won my last race, so I was counting on it again.
Oh, don't count on Executor.
Yeah, the only places the Sunflower and Executor was one of them was in Tin Tower only, and one of them was in Meme Islands only.
Yeah. Well, I could have found either of their pre-evolutions and just... I bought the stones for them. I couldn't remember if it was Leafstone or Sunstone, so I just got them both.
It's Leafstone for...
It's Leafstone for both, or just...
Sunstone for Sunflower, Leafstone for Executor.
All right, perfect. Had it covered then.
Yeah, you didn't actually know, but this brag guy, but the anima was 10% in Runes of Alf and
Oh
with
no.
Whirlwind.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Wow.
How
Yeah,
many of
I
them did
looked
I go
at
through? Like
where it
6 or
was.
7?
5 or 6, I think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
Wow.
was ready
Barely
to
enough to get
100% blame that Yanma.
Well, yeah. Any closing comments, guys?
Yeah, I think that does it. Thanks for commentating, guys, and best of luck, Paradox, and the rest of the tourney.
Herc sucks for talking smack on Delibird.
All right. So I got told I think that you nicknamed something Herc sucks.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
nicknamed the Pseudo-Budo.
I wish I'd found a Snorlax to name it that.
Which, by the way, Braga, if you had caught in the Pseudo-Budo, Ninetales knew Kinesis also, so you would have freed up a slot on your Dodrio.
Yeah, I thought about that after, or no, I hadn't. I didn't see Kinesis, but yeah, I probably should have caught it because I might have main switched to it if it had a good move set, but it did have Sandstorm and something else that wasn't good.
Yeah, it didn't have a good move set.
Yeah.
Did you run the Dodrio?
I did run the Dodrio. Yeah,
I thought
looked
of it
for
until I
other
saw
stuff.
the goal.
Yeah,
it's like the first Dodrio I've seen that hasn't had a godly moveset. Like a little sad about that.
Second I've seen.
Well, anyway, that about wraps it up, unless anyone has anything more to say. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and feel free to follow both of our runners, Paradox and Bryguy, for putting on the race, which was a pretty close race. And, of course, thanks to my co-commentator, Garfield, for hopping in with me. And
having no idea what the heck is going on, yeah.
Well, it was still helpful. And so feel free to follow him and myself if you want, and our lovely restreamer, JK Allen, because without him, of course, he puts in so much effort behind the scenes, and he is rarely even seen. But without him, you would have no video, no restream, nothing to even watch. So very big thanks to JK Allen.
Yeah, then I guess next race will be for the Crystal Randomizer tournament will be at 6 o'clock Eastern, so that's in just over 3 hours. That's good. That'll be, I assume, on this channel, and then there's another one at 10 p.m. Eastern, 4 hours after that. So we've got plenty of Cinco Bingo still to come, and if you're looking for more randomizer stuff, we've got the Randomania Marathon going on the main Randomania channel. If you want to check that out, plenty of random stuff to satisfy you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you again next time.
I've been Caffeine 56, and I'll catch you next time.